Okay. All right. Thanks for hopping on for our March team call. I appreciate it. I love seeing your faces live. We're going to go over some quick announcements. I posted this in our team page, but we have several February life changers on our list this month. And I think what is really awesome is that we together, when we count all of those numbers up and figure it out, we have helped 44 people in the month of February get started with their fitness, nutrition, and journey in our challenge groups, which is tremendous. And what I think is really cool is that in January, we helped 40 lives. And in February, we helped 44 lives. So that number is increasing, which is fantastic. So congratulations to those who achieved Success Club in February: Amy, Terry, Brittany, Jess, and Sarah. And to Lola, Heather, Nicole, Brad, Jordan, Diana, Dawn, Kristen, Amanda, Stephanie, and Laura. Awesome job with those Success Club points. All right, some March focus, things to remember for the month of March, just from the corporate side. Daily Sunshine is like pretty deeply discounted this month, which is really awesome. So that is like $30 off, $99.95 for that spring break promotion. In the next slide, I have the coach exclusive sampler pack, so I'll go over that then. The Success Club reward is a personal development webcast with John Acuff, who Brittany knew about. I have not personally read any books by him. But what I think is pretty awesome about those personal development webcasts are we listen to these books and read these books and everything, but the webcasts, they make them specifically for Beachbody coaches. So those authors are speaking directly to us in our business, which is pretty cool. For those of us going to Summit this month and next month are the 2 months to qualify in March and April. You have to hit Success Club in both months with a total of at least 20 points to be able to go to the Success Club party. There is also a ticket special for Summit that's $155. It's Shakeology's birthday this month. And let me share the Coach Sampler Pack. So this is awesome. This is such a great way to, if you haven't personally tried these products, this is awesome. And then also, this is great to get samples to give away for prizes, give away in your challenge groups for prizes, or obviously if you have customers who are wanting to try these things, and if you have tried them already, it's an excellent way to get samples and give them away. Or I usually actually will sell Shakeology samples and kind of just give my customers a little bit of a deal, because sometimes with the sampler pack and shipping and everything, you can kind of give them a little bit of a discount with it whenever you sell it to them yourself. So this is something great to keep in mind for this month. Just some reminders. Super Saturday is April 7th and Coach Summit is June 21st through 24th in Indianapolis. Live events, I can't stress enough, are so super important to get to. They make all the difference in the world in your business. So if you can be there, get there. For Super Saturday in April, they are all over the country and in Canada, so we can find a Super Saturday that's closest to you to get you to. So it's in the online office, but if you need help finding one, definitely let me know or let one of us know. Okay, so we're going to get straight to it. We have Nina Pierce going to speak to us about Instagram tonight. So many of you know that Nina is in our Fit Family Network, which Fit Family Network, since we do have some new coaches on the call, that's our larger team. We are like a smaller subdivision, Team Fit and Focus is, of Fit Family Network. So Nina and I met a few years ago at Winter Summit in Tennessee, in Gatlinburg, and we really hit it off, and we have had an amazing friendship, but also we have worked so well with the business together. She's my success partner. And if you don't know what a success partner is, it's basically someone that you can work with. I know a lot of you have success partners on our team, and some of you may not and may be interested, but it's someone to work with that is, on the same track as you, similar pace as you, have similar goals as you, wanting to push each other and, work hard together, make each other better, encourage that kind of thing. So Nina and I have been working together now for quite some time. She was also a teacher. She has 3 children. Her husband is a firefighter. She is a Success Club legend. She's a 3-star diamond coach, and she is a wealth of information. She's been diving into Instagram. I am like trying to learn this whole Instagram thing. It's out of my comfort zone. I am such a Facebook person, but I know that I need to be diving more into Instagram. So she is going to be sharing with us. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And go ahead, Nina, you can take it away.
All right. Thank you all so much for having me. I'm going to jump right into the Instagram training, but before I do, I just want you all to know what an amazing leader you have. And I know you guys probably already know that, but I'm absolutely honored to call Michelle my friend and also have her as my partner in this business, because this opportunity is amazing, and one of the most amazing things about it is we are our own business owners, but we don't have to go it alone. And it's so nice when you finally find somebody that speaks the same language as you, has the same goals as you, and can just run with you. So I'm completely honored to be on this call and absolutely love the leader of your team. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And while I'm sharing my screen, I'm going to go into the presentation mode. So I won't be able to see your comments, but I don't mind if you unmute yourself and interrupt me and ask any questions, because I can definitely just get on a roll with my talking. So bear with me for a sec. Okay. Move this out of the way. All right. So, hang on, okay, here we go. So one thing I want to say as far as Instagram goes, it takes time. So I took my first Instagram training about 3 months ago, and it was very uncomfortable for me when I started, but I decided to jump in. And the reason I decided to jump in was because I was hearing, like last year in the business, there were definitely some growing pains with the top coaches. And all of the top coaches were saying what they had to do to continue to grow. So some top coaches continued to grow, and others were kind of stuck and they were no longer growing. And the ones that continued to grow were the ones that jumped over to Instagram. And it was about 2 months ago, maybe a month or 2 ago, I noticed on my Facebook that I would post like I always had. And I used to get like 50 likes on a post, and then I was only getting like 10. And it was like my dad and 9 of my coaches. And I started to I felt stuck because I no longer had people to really reach out to. And that's when I really started focusing on Instagram even more. So 3 months ago, I jumped in. I started kind of dabbling around with it. In the last month, I have really been following a market plan, and really figuring out how to use it as a business. And what I'm going to say before I go into it is you're going to send messages out on Instagram, and you will probably only hear back from 20% of the people. So if you're sending those messages out, you're going to get ignored on a lot of your messages. But the ones that do write back are ready to jump in, and they are your people. So just kind of trust that and know that it is a numbers game, and you do have to reach out to more people. But the people you are reaching out to that come back to you are your people. And it's very targeted marketing that you get to do on Instagram. So that's kind of nice. Okay. So I'm sure some of you have kind of dabbled into Instagram, and maybe you're using it, maybe you've never used it. So I'm going to try to gear this training towards everybody and make it beneficial for all of you. So there's 2 components on Instagram. You've got your stories and you've got your posts. And when I think of my stories, I think of my stories as like a journal of my life. So what am I doing on a daily basis? I don't have to put a ton of thought into it, but I can simply just like, if I'm taking, I don't know, if I'm drinking my shake, I can take a picture of my shake and I can post it. I can, do a picture. I just got a notification that Michelle just took a picture of the call and post that. So your stories are just kind of more of that journal of your life. And then your posts, the difference between Instagram and Facebook is when you are making an actual post, you need that picture to grab somebody's attention. And you kind of need your Instagram, your actual posts, you have to think of them as like a magazine. So if your life were a magazine, what are the things that, what pictures would be featured in your magazine? And what would the topics be in your magazine? And then you need to make the best and highest quality picture to put into that post, because nobody's going to read what you write if that picture doesn't grab their attention. And that picture is what Instagram is all about. Whereas in Facebook, they're going to concentrate more on that text, or, you have that warm market in Facebook. And really in Instagram, you're tapping into that cold market. So you want to grab the attention with the picture in your post. And really just one solid post a day is all you need, but everything else is going to be up in your stories. Okay, so first kind of talking and concentrating on your posts. One a day. You want to vary them. So you don't always want to be posting your sweaty selfies. And if you are posting your workout, maybe like you don't always want to be taking a picture like a true selfie. Maybe you want to do like an action post. Maybe you want to do a video. Maybe you want to do it from like up above, have somebody take one from up above. Maybe you want to like change the angles of that picture. Because when you go onto your Instagram, you don't want to see the same picture repeated all over. You're looking for that quality. So you really want to make sure, like, maybe not have your phone in selfie mode. Make sure you have the proper lighting. Think about the background. So on Facebook, when we started posting our like sweaty and fitness pictures, really it didn't matter if we had this messy background or whatever. But on Instagram, you want to make sure you have like a blurred out background, or you want to make sure like there's bright colors. It's just a quality picture. In my posts, I like to do my call to action posts. So I like to really make sure I'm sharing my story, but then I always end it with a call to action, like drop your email, or post a flex emoji if you're interested in more information, and just really kind of use that opportunity to do the call to actions. You want to kind of think, going back to thinking of it as a magazine, like what are your color schemes and what mood do you want your pictures in your Instagram to portray? So for me, if you look at my Instagram account, I actually frame all of my pictures. So there's white borders that separate all of my pictures. And I use the same 2 filters. And I'll talk a little bit more about apps to get filters with. But like, you want to kind of think even like 2 or 3 color shades. And maybe you want to incorporate colors. And there's people that get like really into Instagram and they actually buy specific props to put in the background and to just grab people's attention. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I am doing like that color and filter theme and trying to work on that. And then in your posts, you really want to utilize your hashtags. So you can include up to 30 hashtags. I include mine in the first comment, but you have to do it within like 30 seconds of your post. And now I'm seeing some people that say to actually put them in the caption part. But I've been having success keeping them in my comments, so I am keeping them in my comments. So I want to talk a little bit more about hashtags. So you want to kind of think outside of Beachbody. If you're doing 80-day obsession, you don't want to tag 80-day obsession, because the only people that will be searching hashtag 80-day obsession are people that already know about it. And I mean, there's an opportunity to tap into some market of people that are shopping around and saying like, oh, I want to see what this program is all about. But you're going to have much better luck thinking outside of Beachbody. So I don't tag myself as Beachbody coach. I don't do 80-day obsession. in even like thinking fitness terms, we might want to say like at home workout. But the more like narrow you can get and the more you can get away from health and fitness, you can really tap into your market.
Nina,
So
Nina,
yeah.
On the last slide, Tanya asked, I don't think you mentioned that you talked about your 5, like your 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just want to explain
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So I have 5 things that describe me. So I try not to think about health and fitness, but I was actually very into health and fitness before I started. So health and fitness are part of my 5. But I'm a mom. I'm a firefighter wife. I'm a soccer mom. I'm a busy mom. So I'm a like recovering perfectionist. I'm an overachiever. So try to think of like 5 things that describe you outside of health and fitness. And that goes back to thinking of your Instagram as a magazine. So if you had a magazine, what are the 5 topics that you're going to have in that magazine? So I don't know, like think about, I guess Cosmo is the one that's going to come to my mind. Women's health. All right, we'll be a little bit older than 17. Think about like women's health. And what are like the 5 things that are in every single magazine? So you want your Instagram to be like your magazine. And what are the 5 things that you want your magazine to cover? So for me, like you're going to see family on there. And I actually asked a good friend last week, I got lunch with her, and she was commenting on my Instagram, and she's not a coach. And I asked her, I was like, what mood do you see? Like, you know, how would you describe my Instagram and what are you seeing? And she's like, well, you do a great job, like just showing how you're so busy and how you fit this into your life. And it's about your kids. It's about your family. And she's like, I love looking at your stories to see what adventures you and the kids are on or how you're making it all work. And that is exactly who I am and what my magazine would be. So that's kind of what your 5 are. Sorry about that. Okay. So going back to the hashtags. So what I do is I actually, in my notes section on my phone, I have 3 different groups of hashtags. I have one group that I use for my fitness related posts. I have another group that I use for my nutrition related posts. And then I have a 3rd group that I use for that lifestyle motivation or the coach posts. But again, like my fitness ones might be like, it's very narrowed down to where it's like strong mom. And even in my fitness ones, so I've got 30 different options that I can have in there. And I will have like 20 of them as fitness. And then the other 10 are going to describe me. So I have like mom style. I have soccer mom. I have present, not perfect. And I have like some signature hashtags that I use. And I'll talk more about where you can find those in a minute. When it comes to nutrition, like I have, it's a little bit more detailed. Like this, the way we look at nutrition, my whole family has taken it on. So I try to pull in like that kid part. So I have like paleo kids because we eat like probably 90% paleo here. And the kids do too. So I try to have like different hashtags instead of just like clean eating or like healthy food. I also try to look at like a couple health food restaurants that we go to. Like there's clean eating restaurants out here, I guess you would call it, healthy restaurants that we go to. And I look at their accounts and I see what hashtags they're using to try to draw their market into my posts as well. And then as far as lifestyle and motivation, again, that kind of is like my personality comes out in here. So I'm not going to do the standard like work at home mom or coach or Beachbody coach. Like I'm going to think of more. So I was on a call with my corporate rep earlier today, and she said, think of the 10 traits or 10 characteristics of what you would want your dream team, your coaches to have. So like think about those traits, and that's what you want to hashtag for your lifestyle and motivation posts. So for me, it was like, it's that present over perfect. It's disciplined, committed. Like think of those like personality traits and not necessarily like the actions that we do. A great way to find hashtags is to find people that you are attracted to. So not necessarily other Beachbody coaches, but you can start there. Like you can find other coaches that kind of like have the same vibe as you, and you can look to see what hashtags they are using. And you can use some of those hashtags, because if they have that same vibe as you obviously have that in common, and it's okay to use those same hashtags. But you can also find people outside of Beachbody. Find other friends, or find like other fitness accounts. One of the ones that I love to look at is Tone It Up. So there's Tone It Up Nutrition, there's Tone It Up, and I really don't understand what Tone It Up is, besides like there's like this quick at home workout you can do, and then they have like a protein, but it's a huge community, and they're not necessarily like coaches, and I don't even think they make money. But that's like this brand and community that I like to tap into to try to find coaches. But I'll look at the Tone It Up accounts, and I'll look at people that are following those Tone It Up accounts, and I'll see what hashtags they're following. And then I'll use some of those hashtags that fit my personality. And then there is a website right here, all-hashtag.com, and you can actually put in one hashtag, and then you can find similar hashtags to it. So say if I were to put in soccer mom, it's going to give me the top 30 hashtags that go with soccer mom. So that's another way to explore hashtags. But the biggest thing is I would try to find like 3 different groups of 30 hashtags that you can just copy and paste. And then you want to alternate the hashtags that you're using to keep your page fresh and to continue to find new people. And it's okay to change hashtags out as well. And if one group's not working, then go find another group of hashtags, or take a couple of those out and add some new ones in and just keep it fresh. I'm always playing around with them as I find them. Okay, so now going to stories. This might be a little overwhelming for you. And I know Carl, our CEO, gave us the challenge to do like 3 or 4 posts a day, but I strive to post every single hour. And this is why. Every time you post a story, your story bumps up to the front. So if I'm posting every hour, I can pretty much assure you that my story is always going to get bumped up to the front. And I think about like, how often are people scrolling Instagram? I don't know, all day long. But I think it's pretty safe to say if you are doing it every hour, you're going to be in the first few stories. And I know me personally, when I'm looking at other people's stories, I never go past like 10 deep. And I mean, other people might that aren't running a business and that are always on Instagram, but I don't have time and I get bored from looking at it. But even my daughter, she's 12, and as soon as she got in the car today, she of course pulls out her phone and she's starting to look at Instagram, and she's like, "Your story's always first, Mom. You're always in front of all of my friends." And I was like, well, that's the whole point. So I figure I'm being successful if I'm beating out all these teenagers on their stories. But really, that to me is something that I literally think about, like, okay, what am I eating? I'll post a picture of that. Like, what am I doing coach related? Like, what am I doing lifestyle related? And the easiest thing to do is just incorporate the kids into it, like incorporate the family into it. But really, you want to give a glimpse into your reality show. So it's your journal. Like, what do you do? And what are you doing as a coach? What are you doing as a person? What are you doing as a challenger? And just really show people this reality show. I was watching a personal development video with Gary Vee yesterday, and he was saying that he thinks Facebook and like Instagram, eventually, and not too far down the road, they're all going to have their own like TV series. So people are going to start going onto Instagram to watch like this show, or going onto Facebook to watch this show. And that's kind of what it already is doing with these different like lives of people, where it's like, this is the new reality show that we have. With your stories, make sure you follow a marketing plan. So at first, you just want to show that glimpse of your reality show. But once you get comfortable with showing that reality show, you can really take advantage of your stories and do a sneak peek into what coaching is and a sneak peek into what challenge packs are. And I'm going to go and show you some examples of that in a minute. But you can also highlight your challengers, or highlight coach success in there, and just show people that the different vital behaviors. So you can even think about those 4 vital behaviors and make sure every day you're incorporating the vital behaviors. Show what you're reading to, or, do a quick little video of what you're listening to for personal development. Share what you're doing as a challenger, share your challenger's success, and so on. And then you really want to utilize polls to get some interaction, and then geotag. So the geotag, if you don't know what that is, but after you have your post up there, you can click on the little box up top and it says location. And you can actually tag any location you want. You don't have to tag where you are. So what I do with the girls is I say, okay, where are we today? And they give me a different city or whatever. And every day we do a different location. So some days we're in London, some days we're in Disney World, other days we're just here in Colorado. So we just have fun with it, and that's kind of their fun way of getting into it as well. Okay, so here's an example of how I did a call to action in my stories for a challenge group. So I did the same post on Facebook, but obviously it was just one page. So it's each of these frames are different stories. So if you could lose 10 pounds, and then I geotagged it in a place in 21 days, including a simple eating plan, blah, blah, blah. If I provide you with 21 days of workouts to be done, there's a misprint, at home with minimal equipment, one-on-one coaching, and a community of support and accountability. And then here is where my poll came in. I actually typed the question up here so I could use my font. And it was I don't even remember. Would you be interested is all I wrote. And then for my poll, it's sign me up for more info. I never give no because I don't want them to be negative. So my option was either sign me up for more info. So if they're not interested, they're just going to skip it. But for this one, I actually got I think it was a 50-50 split between the two. And then from there, I'm able to look. And for those of you that don't know, with the stories, you can, down on the bottom of your stories, it tells you how many people viewed it. And then you click on that and you can actually see the people that viewed it. If you are geotagging, you can see the location, but you can't see the people that looked at it from there. But again, you can click on, say, if I geotag this as Longmont, Colorado, I can click on, I had 200 viewers from Longmont, Colorado. I can click on Longmont, Colorado, and I can see the other people that are geotagging it as well. And that's how I can build a local community. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the inviting process. But actually, before I do this, I'm going to stop sharing this for a second. And does anybody have any questions on the posts or stories? And there are 1,000,010 typos in this. I did this in the car while I was at soccer practice yesterday, and it's going to annoy me to see all these red things. So,
okay, I had a question.
Yes.
How do you organize your photos? So I know, Michelle, you're good at this as well. I'm sure you're not taking every photo that moment and posting it. How do you organize them on your phone? Do you have an app? And then kind of categorizing them.
So I actually, I do. I have an iPhone, so I don't know if all phones are like this. But when I take pictures on my iPhone, I can make different albums in the photos. So I have an album that's called Transformations, and I put my transformation pictures in there. I have an album called Nutrition. So sometimes I'll take a picture of food and I'll use it 3 weeks later. But I also have an album called Coaching. So when we're at coaching events or, just different situations, I'll put in coaching things. I have an event or an album called Inspiration, where I keep my quotes and everything. So that's usually how I do it. But I'm actually not a planner, and I'm more of a think on my toes type of person. So I don't necessarily, I have a marketing plan in my mind of okay, I need to share my vital behaviors on stories, but I'm more kind of I honestly share my life. But an example of that one yesterday where I shared those transformations and stuff, I just looked at my phone and I pulled up pictures of from my transformations to show that transformation. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So now we'll go back then. Okay. So now I will share like how to invite. And again, I have some examples of this. So there's two ways that you can invite. You can invite through your posts, and that's very similar to Facebook. So I gave you two examples of what I do. So everybody that likes or comments on my post, I invite. And I do it the same exact way I would on Facebook. And I try to have that, like, end it with a question to get a conversation going. And it's, in my opinion, is so much easier to invite on Instagram because you don't know who these people are. So if they ignore you, you're not like, oh man, like, what's going to happen when I see this person at work again tomorrow? Like, is it going to be awkward because I invited them and they ignored me? Like, you don't know who these people are. So it's pretty cool. And then you can invite through stories. So again, here's exactly what I say to every single person that watches my story. Now, you're going to see that there's patterns with people that watch your stories. So if I send this out to somebody that's watching my stories and they ignore me, but they continue to watch my stories, they're obviously still interested. So say I sent this message out to somebody today that was watching my story. If I see that they're still watching my story, then maybe on Sunday, I'm going to reach out to them again. And I'm just going to say, hey, hope you had a great weekend and all is well. And just kind of keep it there. But then I'm also, just like in Facebook, if somebody were watching my stuff or, liking my stuff, but they were ignoring me, I would make sure I go over to their page and I start liking and commenting, because I just want to make sure that I'm like in their face and they know, like, they have to keep thinking about me. So it's the same thing that way. And then there's connecting as well. So connecting is actually a lot of fun because, like, in Facebook, when you think about connecting, you think about going into groups or going to friends of friends. And it's kind of like, you don't know if you have anything in common with these people. But connecting on Instagram, you can really, really narrow it down to find like your people that speak your language, that have the same energy. So there's different ways you can do it. You can search a hashtag, you can search a brand, you can search a store or location. So something that I do, like, I try to find smaller brands. So I think about, like, what clothes do I wear? How do I talk? Like, what's my personality? And then I make those into a hashtag. So for me, like, my favorite store and where 90% of my clothes are from is Athleta. So that's one that I'm going to go to. The hashtags, you should be searching the same hashtags that you're using. But I also I'm a huge, huge coffee drinker. But I'm not going to look at Starbucks because that's like a huge, huge brand. But I'm going to think about the local coffee shops or the smaller coffee shops that I go to. And I'm going to look at those stores. I'm going to follow those stores. And then I'm going to look at their followers and find people that are following those places, those brands, and commenting and all of that. When you do search any of those things, and you could do location too. So this was something I did before we went over to London. I was really searching like London locations, or just London, United Kingdom, to kind of build a market over there. But when you search those things, you're going to skip the top post, and I'm going to walk you through all this in a second. And then my process for connecting is like, comment, follow that person, and then send them a message. So say I was searching Athleta and I clicked on one of their pictures and I click on, I see who's commenting on them. So then I click on a person and I like their first picture. I liked their second picture. I find a picture to comment on. Then I follow them. Then I send them a message. And my message is just going to be like, it's so great to connect with you on here. I love your energy. Say if it were Athleta, I would say, what health and fitness goals are you working on? If I'm doing a mom one, like soccer mom, I would do the like, comment, follow message, but my message would be more like, hey, how are you? It's great to connect with you on here. It looks like you've got a soccer player as well. How old is your daughter? And I would just leave it at that. And then another way that I connect on Instagram is all of the people that follow me, I send them a message. And my message to them is just, thank you so much for the follow. I wanted to take a chance to introduce myself to you. I'm a busy mom of 3 kids. I love all things health and fitness related. What are some of your interests? And I just leave it at that. And again, this is where you're going to get ignored by 80% of the people, but the 20% of the people that write back are ready to jump on board, and they are your people. So here's an example of it. I did mom style. So these are the top posts. These are the posts that come up right away. I skip over all of these. But then as you see down here, there's more, the most recent. So these are the most recent. And just kind of looking at it, I try to find like posts. So this was a post that caught my eye. I thought this kid was absolutely adorable. So I clicked on this picture here, and then it comes up and I see who it is. So I went over to this page, and I think I liked this post. I liked this post. I commented on this post just by saying adorable. Simple as that. And then I went ahead and I followed her, and then I sent her a message. And it was just, hey, so great to connect in here. I love the energy on your page. What adorable kids. How old are they? And that was my connection post. So from here, I wanted to share how I break up an Instagram power hour. So
can I ask one quick question?
Yeah.
When you say you like, follow message, you do that like all at once, right? You're not like coming back another day. You're like liking posts.
No, so actually, yeah, and I'll kind of go into that in the power hour of how I do it. So I taught my team to do Instagram in pockets of time. Now, this may sound really weird or whatever, but like think about Instagram is all on your phone. So think about like, okay, 10 minutes on the toilet. Like, no lie, you can sit there and you can get part of this done. Like, I know that's like my only mom time sometimes, so I might prolong it a little bit. I know my husband's always in there forever on his phone. So you think about that. It's like, okay, where can you find times? Because you don't want to let go of Facebook. Because Facebook is what's working for you, and you need to continue to work that. But it's like, how do you add this in? Because you need to start building this, because it's going to take 3 months to really get that momentum going. So just find those 10 minutes. Like, sometimes I'll go to pick my kids up 10 minutes early from school, and I'll do one of these things. So for the first 10 minutes, I'm going to follow other people. So every day I pick a hashtag. And if I really like that hashtag, I stick with that same hashtag until I'm bored of it. So say today I'm going to do mom style. And the really cool thing is too, if you do like the search, so where the magnifying glass is, the search button or the search comes up top. If I type in mom style and I do tags, below that there's going to be like related hashtags too. So I can use those related hashtags. But say today I'm going to concentrate on mom style. So I'm going to click on mom style. I'm going to go to that, and I'm going to find people that are using that tag. And I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes on my phone, and I'm just going to follow people, just mass follow people for 10 straight minutes. And then this is where you could also pick a brand, or you could pick another person. So like I said, I like Athleta, I like Tone It Up, I like Tone It Up Nutrition. I'll pick one of those. And how I do it for those, I don't go to the followers on there, but I go to their most recent posts. And I go to people that are liking their most recent posts, or that are commenting on their most recent posts, because they're active on Instagram. And then I just go through, and for 10 straight minutes, I just go through boom, 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 and follow. And even if the profiles are private, I actually still request to do them, because that tells me that if their profile is private, they're not doing this as a business. So I do request to have them follow too. So then after I do that, I I'll find like one new person that I followed, and I'll look at the followers of them. So usually how I find this is I find somebody that's like liking on my posts, and I'll click on their profile and I'll look at their followers, and then I'll follow people that are following them. Because if this person continues to like my stuff, then it's kind of like the friends of friends on Facebook. Chances are people that are following them are going to like my stuff as well. And then this is where, so going back to that like, comment part. So then for the next 10 minutes, I just stick in one hashtag, one brand or whatever, and I just scroll through, and every like picture that I like that catches my eye or that doesn't seem Beachbody related, I click on their profile. If it doesn't say like Beachbody Coach, if I don't recognize the workout programs, then I do the like, comment, follow, message to them. And I'll do it to however many I can get in 10 minutes. And then when the 10-minute clock goes off, I'm done. I move on to the next part. Or this is a great way to chunk it. So it's like, okay, when I was teaching, I literally worked my business in pockets of time. So here's my next 10 minutes. So now I'm going to message all of the new people following me. So I'm going to go to followers, and that's like the only thing that's actually in order on Instagram. As people follow you, like the new followers are up at top, but like there's no rhyme or reason to any of the other order in this. So I just go through and I message all of those people that started following me. And then the next 10 minutes, I'll go through my stories, and any new people that viewed my story, I'm going to message them. I'm going to say that, thanks for watching my story. Hope you found inspiration and motivation. Let me know if you're interested in any aspect of what I do as a coach. I'd love to give you more information. The same thing with my posts. I'm going to reach out just like I would on Facebook. And then the last 10 minutes, I'm going to message, that's message my new followers. Okay, so then before was message the new people I was following. So that kind of goes with that like, comment, message. So that's how I break it down into those 10-minute pockets. And it seems manageable for me. And I know, like, I personally can't stay on Instagram for a long time because working on my phone definitely gives me a headache and it just makes my eyes hurt. But breaking it down into 10 minutes like this really seems to help. And there's a couple of resources that I wanted to share with you all. So one, that if you want to outsource some of the work, there's a website called Stim Social. You can get a 5-day free trial. And how it works is you put in targets. So this is where you would put in the brands, the hashtags, the locations, whatever it is that you want your vibe and your energy to be. And Stim Social goes in and they do a mass following on all of those brands, hashtags, people, whatever, and get people to follow you back. And then when you get to a certain number of followers, they start unfollowing to keep it all even. And then if you want to pay for this subscription, I think it's $30 a month, they'll actually send your first message out to all the people that start following you. So all the people that follow you, they'll send whatever message you put in there. And it's a neat way to like manage it. So I've been using it. I have mine opened up here. Hang on one second. So I've been using it since the 20th, and I've gotten 428 new followers with it. So for me, that's worth it. And if you look at it, like here are my different targets. Like I have different accounts, different hashtags, and different locations. So if you look at this, like these are some of the different targets that it's doing. And then under reports, it actually shows me, I don't know. Yeah. So these, like it went onto this person's and I have like a 7% follow back of what they're doing. So it's just kind of, I don't know, it's interesting to see, but I know 428 followers in about 10 days, like it's work that I don't have to do. And it was worth the $30 investment for me. But I love it too, because they send that message out to me. So it just takes it away. And here are a few apps that I absolutely love for my stories. So HypeType is one where I take my videos on my regular camera, but then with HypeType, I open it up, I swipe up and get my video, and it takes my video and it just gets a 15-second clip of it, because that's all you can have in stories. But then you can get creative with your text, and you can type in any song you want, and you can put that song on there too. And it just kind of, I don't know, it makes it a little bit more fun. And then my favorite app, and I use this for everything, is called Snapseed. And I love the filters that come on it. So I go to the tools part, and there's this one section called drama, and you can make your picture like super bright, but then it also has different looks. So you can do like, you can make things pop. So I actually go under looks, and I go under pop whenever I do a nutrition post, and it just makes my food look like it has like professional lights, and like it brings all the colors out into it. So I use that filter for Instagram, or that app for Instagram, and the filters on there. And there's a new one that just came out called Cut Story. And this is actually, so say if I wanted to take a coach opportunity video on my phone. So I'm going to talk about different aspects of coaching. What Cut Story does is you upload this like 3-minute video onto Cut Story, and it cuts it into the 15-second like segments without cutting you out. So if you are using stories, like you can push the button and you've got the 3-second countdown, and then you're like racing for 15 seconds and trying not to end in the middle of a sentence. Well, Cut Story actually like naturally cuts it for you. So you don't have to do that like awkward, like, okay, I'm going to get this last sentence in, or I'm going to pause and smile for 2 seconds while it finishes out. So that's kind of a fun little app to do that for too. I think HypeType costs something and Cut Story might cost something, but I'm not positive on those. So that's what I have for you guys on there. I'm going to stop sharing, and then let me know what questions you guys have. I know it was kind of a lot of information and kind of like a brief overview of it. So yeah, what do you guys need to know? What questions do you have? How do you feel about it?
That was awesome, Nina. Thank you so much. Tons of great information. Yeah, definitely something to go back and listen to. If you took notes, go through those notes. Obviously, I think the key is to like pick things that you want to start with, and not try to overwhelm yourself with trying to do everything all at once, you know, especially if you are brand new to Instagram, you know. So but I thought that was awesome information. So thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions? Someone, oh, Amy, you said HypeType only charges if you want to get rid of the watermark.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I downloaded HypeType without paying for anything.
Okay.
I haven't really used it very much yet.
HypeType is fun. I like HypeType, and I don't care about the watermark so much, so I'm fine not paying for it. It's super easy to use, also.
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy.
Yeah,
I think like my biggest advice is to go slow to go fast. Like I said, it's been, to get to where I am right now, it's been a 3-month process. And it's really cool because you can look back at my Instagram. Not my stories because they're only there for 24 hours, but you can look back at my posts and you can see the progression of where I like really grew into this. But just start playing around with it and have fun, and don't let it stress you out, because it should be this fun outlet for you.
Yeah, I love how you use like it looking like a magazine almost. And even just something that, so I have picked colors. So I used to do a lot more quotes and I don't. That is one of like, my face is like one of like my pillars I would consider that I use on Instagram. But I come up with them on my own, and I use specific colors. I did change that. I have been doing like nutrition posts and stuff, and I try to make sure that I'm conscious of like not stacking pictures like right on top of each other or next to each other. So I'm like, just like little tweaks that you can make. So like when you go to your account, you can see kind of a difference, where before it was just like a hodgepodge of everything where I didn't pay attention to that as much, So just those little tweaks that you can make. But all right, so it is like getting late. So any last questions before we go? Jess just said, Dean, I just followed you and got your auto message.
I got your little message. It's a very nice little message.
There you go. And guess what? I didn't even write it to you.
No? Since you're talking, I assumed you didn't.
I love it. Yeah. I love the borders that you do. Like, well, yeah, if you do go look at Nina's, hers is awesome. So if you want to see a good setup of an Instagram account, hers looks really good.
Thank you.
Nina, have you like always been doing your photos that way, or did you go back and delete old stuff that didn't have the borders? Or if I scrolled way back?
So it was actually last year at New Leadership, Ashley Smith, like she went from, I don't know, in a year, she basically became a top 10 coach. And she talked about how she built her whole business on Instagram. So that's another thing that I really do. I find coaches that inspire me. So Ashley Smith is one. Like, if you look at me, I wear sweats 95% of the time. Like, you're not going to go on my Instagram and find me with makeup. I don't even wear makeup. So like a Lindsay Matway or a Bonnie Ingo, like I have nothing in common with them. Yes, Ashley Smith Fitness. But like Ashley Smith is just this like all around like everyday mom. So she was somebody that like inspired me as a coach. So she actually did those borders on hers, and I loved how her pictures look. So I copied it. I follow her stories. Danielle Natoni is another one that like I love. I like to think of myself a little bit like her, but I don't think I am at all. But I like to pretend. Like she's like my role model coach. And like I watch her stories and I see her posts, and I don't copy them, but I'm inspired by them. And I will like take what they're saying and I'll make it my own. But that's something that I really do, because it's like if I'm inspired by that, then chances are the people that I'm trying to reach will be inspired by it too.
So I forget, did you go back and change all of yours to borders?
No, so if you go down, like it would be exactly a year ago, because it was like last weekend I was at New Leadership, and that's when I started doing it. So if you go down past a year, I believe there's no borders.
Okay.
That'd be a lot of posts down there. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. When I decided to tweak things, I just like started and.
Yeah. I just left it as it is.
And then sometimes I do a post, and then after it's been up there for a little while and I look at like my little collage of pictures and I'm like, I really don't like that, and I'll delete it. Or if I want to make a post and I don't want things to be stacked on each other, like I'll delete a post if I need to, but. Okay.
It actually holds me accountable, because if I look at mine and I'm like, okay, I've got workout. I'm like, all right, I need to go do something nutrition related. I need to find my kids. Like I need to do a different picture.
Right. Yeah. And I definitely still will do like workout posts, or use a fitness post, but I, like Nina was talking about, I use a different, like it'll be a video one day. It'll be like a screenshot of me in the middle of doing an exercise, or like a picture of me afterwards, whatever. I try to make sure that those are different too, and my message is still different, not always fitness related. But Nina, this was awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. It's
the slides that you can share too.
Yeah.
And all of you, feel free to message me, reach out if you have any questions.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All right.
You're very welcome.
All right. Thank you so much for hopping on tonight, ladies. I know it's late, so everyone get to bed so you can get up early and do your 80-day obsession workout. since most people are early birds for workouts. All right.
Thank you, Nina.
Bye. Thank you.